Are you curious about different benefits of exercise, whether you've been exercising for a long time, or you're just getting into it, or you're just looking for some motivation to kind of keep you going so you can know what's happening within me while I'm exercising? Well, we're excited to share 5 benefits that you gain from exercising. Welcome to Eat and Live Free. My name is Alisia Young, and on this channel, we go through mindful movement practices along with discuss nutrition, especially around the topic of junk food dependency and emotional eating. I'm also a canfitpro healthy eating and weight loss pro trainer, so HWL pro trainer, and I'm so excited to invite my guest and friend, fellow pro trainer, Dr. Loïse, to join us for this topic as well. Welcome, Dr. Loïse.
Well, thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to be here. Thank you for the invitation. I am Dr. Loïse. I do have a PhD. I'm a real doctor, just not that kind. I am also not your usual personal trainer. I'm a scientist with a neuroscience background, and I do brain health and fitness education. Like you, I am a canfitpro pro trainer. I focus on personal training certification, so I'm a PTS pro trainer. At Neuromotion Wellness, I also train and teach brain health courses, specifically for older adults.
Beautiful. And I'm so excited because I know that you have a lot to share personally from your experience working with your clients in this video too, which really adds to why we are sharing these benefits with you as well. So how about you start us off? Because I know you have a lot to share.
Sounds good. So I've been a personal trainer for about 10 years. I got my CanFit Pro certification in 2015. So yes, 10 years ago. And
Awesome.
so I'll tell you a little bit about the benefits, and then I always like to add examples because this is not just, me talking theory. There is practical evidence that this thing works. So the first benefit I want to talk about today is cardiovascular and metabolic health. So obviously when we're working out, and that's not just if we do cardio exercises like running or walking or all that stuff, resistance training also has cardio benefits. So if you do resistance training, particularly if there's not a lot of break in between your exercises, you will get cardiovascular benefits. Cardiovascular exercising or resistance training will help get your blood flow going. There's going to be also a reduction in blood pressure. It will strengthen your heart. We always need a strong heart to make sure we can live a long life. Cardio also, or exercise in general, helps improve your cholesterol levels. And it has a lot of effects when it comes to metabolic health, specifically, but not just if we're talking about insulin sensitivity. And I know that, Alisia, you have quite a bit more to say about that.
Yes, definitely. And so you shared some important things about different areas of the body that exercise is beneficial for, and insulin sensitivity is a big one as well, for many different health conditions, but in particular, when it comes to insulin sensitivity. So insulin is an important hormone in our body, which helps to regulate our blood sugar. And what happens there is that when our blood sugar is pretty high, or sometimes as a backup, if we have a high amount of amino acids circulating through the blood, it signals to our body that we need to release insulin. And so insulin is released from the pancreas. And what it does is it pulls that excess sugar in from the bloodstream so that it can be stored. And then we have it stored for later usage. And so the key word being sensitivity means that its function is enhanced. So we don't need as much to fulfill the same result. When our insulin sensitivity is enhanced, that means we need less insulin to be able to pull in that blood sugar. Whereas when we have conditions where there is blood sugar dysregulation, we need a higher amount of insulin to fulfill the same function. So that sensitivity effect is super, important. And I believe you have more to share about that as well, Dr. Loïse.
Yes, absolutely. I've actually had a client that's been with me for about 10 years. She started by taking some of the classes that I was doing for people with type 2 diabetes. And obviously, she had diabetes at the time. And she's been with me working out 1 hour a week consistently for the past 10 years. She went from diabetes to pre-diabetes, and now she actually hasn't had any issues with diabetes for the past few years. So she's been able to maintain a normal blood glucose just by adding consistent exercise. And the key here is really consistent exercise.
Yeah, that's excellent. That goes to show the importance of lifestyle changes. But as you said, the consistent part as well, and also having that support and that strategy too as well. Yeah.
Right. Now, one of my favorite topics to talk about is the brain. I might be a brain nerd, but exercise actually has tremendous benefits when it comes to brain health and cognitive function. And this is a lot of what I do in my practice. I use exercise and movement to help not just the body feel better, but also to help improve the brain and our cognitive function. Um, Obviously, by exercising, we get more blood flow to the brain, in addition to, blood flow to all around the body, bringing more oxygen to the brain, making the brain more efficient at whatever it does in general. We also get different benefits when it comes to our improvement in terms of memory. I work with a lot of older clients. A lot of them are a little bit worried about dementia or cognitive impairment. And there is a lot of studies that have been done that show that exercise, specifically dual tasking, doing two things at once, ideally one thing physical and one thing cognitive, like walking and talking, does improve cognitive function in general and can help fight to a certain extent cognitive impairment. Exercise also in terms of brain health can improve coordination, it can help regulate emotions, and it can help with brain fog. If you have any type of brain fog, I know that when I have like really hard work that I need to do, going out for a walk or doing a little bit of exercise will help me stay focused for longer. And there's a lot of like physiological explanation as to why that is the case.
Yeah, that sounds like so many benefits. When I initially, before going into this field, when I thought of exercise and before learning more about it, I was just thinking about the physical benefits. But when you speak about the connection with our brain, it's really exciting and it's actually really inspirational. It's also motivating me because I'm like studying for a really major exam right now. And so as we discuss this, it's like that reminder and what's meant to be partially education, but also partially motivation as well to like, this is a way that you can go and really support your brain, enhance your brain, and all those other areas you spoke about as well. And so that actually reminds me of another area of the brain or that is connected with the brain that is benefited through exercise, and that is sleep. We need sleep for all the reasons that you've mentioned before, just like, for example, memory and mood as well. So we're not as cranky from lack of sleep. I don't know if you've had those days where you're just like, I just need a good nap. So yes, so exercise is really helpful for supporting our sleep in terms of the regularity of sleep that we get, but also the depth of sleep that we fall into. And so with sleep, it happens in a few ways because with exercise, one part is that it can be quite fatiguing to our body, so it can tire us out, and that puts us in a position where we're more likely to fall asleep. It's also connected through temperature regulation because when we're working out, it's typically, this is more talking about the more intense exercises, but we really need to regulate our temperature so that we'll sweat. But then when we cool down as well, that's also a great time for us to get into a wind down period to prepare for sleep. Some other ways that exercise is beneficial for our sleep is because exercise can help regulate our circadian rhythm. And so that is connected to our sleep wake cycle. And this is something that we want to keep fairly regular. And so exercise can be supportive of this rhythm. In addition, sleep helps a specific area in the brain, which releases a hormone that's called melatonin. And so melatonin is released by a section in the brain called the pineal gland. And so that also helps us with that sleep rhythm and falling into sleep. And also that whole exercise process supports our ability to go into deep stages of sleep faster, because there are several different stages of sleep that we can go through every evening that we cycle through. And so exercise supports us in going into those deeper stages and staying within them longer for the times that we are meant to really get the restorative and repair benefits of them. And I think, Dr. Louise, I think you had more to share about the amazing repair benefits we can also get from sleep in our brain as well.
Yes, so exercise obviously is super important to help with sleep, and then sleep, if we have enough of it, will help with our brain health. So it's kind of like a double benefit,
Yes.
where when we sleep, we actually clean up, not we help our body, restore itself, but also our brain. So when we sleep, it cleans up some of the toxins in our brain. And if we're thinking about exercise, whenever we're exercising, we're actually, particularly when we're doing something new or when we're doing something that we've done before, we're creating new connections between brain cells, or we're reinforcing those connections that we've created. And sleep doubles down on that, where it helps really reinforce overnight what, assuming we're sleeping at night, reinforce those connections. And this is what makes us more adaptable to our environment and helps us live a longer life, which brings us to our last benefit that we want to talk about today, is exercise will help us live longer. So great for longevity, which is another very interesting topic of mine. It's been shown, we all know that the more and the better we can move, the longer we will live. Example, your ability to go up and down from the floor without using your hands specifically is correlated to your life expectancy. So the better you move, the stronger, well, we're assuming the stronger you are, and therefore the more you exercise, or some of the benefits of exercise will be obviously improving your muscle strength, but it also improves your mobility so that you can keep moving. I train a lot of people, older adults, that want to age in place. Aging in place meaning you want to finish your life at home, not necessarily in a retirement home or a long-term care. If you're able to do that, you need to make sure that your body and your brain are able to get you through that. Meaning you need to be able to cook for yourself, you need to be able to go to the bathroom by yourself or clean yourself. That means a lot of squats that you want to be able to keep doing for as long as possible. So movement and exercise is really, really important when it comes to longevity. And the more consistent and the better you move, the more enjoyable and potentially pain-free the end of your life, or closer to the end of your life, you will be.
Yeah, that sounds extremely important, because it sounds like you're also speaking about those activities of daily living, that are so important, like those functional components of living well, and especially as you share that we want to do our best to be able to enjoy our life and live strong and independently as long as possible. So it's really great to hear you share that these types of activities are something that we can do to empower ourselves to be able to allow this to be our life to the best of our ability. Because to be able to get older is a privilege and an honor. But it's also important for us to know what we are take responsibility. And these are ways that you shared that we can do that. So that was awesome. Thank you. And thank you for joining us for part 1 of benefits of exercises. We do have a part 2 coming up. So definitely stay tuned for that. And please keep in touch with us. Please be reminded that we are pro trainers for canfitpro's courses. So Dr. Louise teaches the PTS, or the personal training specialist course, and I teach the HWL, so the healthy eating and weight loss course. We teach online and in person, and you can definitely find out more information about when and where we're teaching in our websites, which are posted in the description. So thank you again for joining us. Thank you again, Dr. Louise, for being with us.
Thank you so much for having me, and I look forward for part 2.
Great. See you all there.
Bye.